Hey, this is Doc Yates. I'm a naturopathic doctor, registered acupuncturist, and a kinesiologist, owner of the Yates Naturopathic Clinic, and the founder of the interactive health website, Able Health. And this is the Simply Health Podcast, a show for females where I work to simplify and demystify the secrets of achieving optimal health naturally, based on my own experience in working with thousands of female patients over the past 15 years of my clinical practice. Welcome to Simply Health. Hey, this is Doc Yates, and on the drive today in the Simply Health Podcast, I'm going to discuss 5 things that you can do and 5 things to consider for detoxification. Okay, so detoxification in the naturopathic world that's a huge part of maintaining health. So because in the mainstream medicine it doesn't really exist. They don't really do anything unless you are acutely exposed to very strong chemicals or heavy metals. They don't really do anything for detoxification. So historically, if you've ever looked at anything from a naturopathic standpoint, you'd see a lot of things about, detoxifying every spring. Sometimes people would do it spring and fall, but most commonly it was like a spring thing. You would do your detoxification in the spring. And you see this a lot now in more kind of like pop culture, I guess, of natural medicine, where they're doing, we're going to do a 20-day detox, and this is our 20-day detox, and we're going to do it for the spring, and then we're good for the year. The thing is that historically, they were doing detox, and they didn't even have the chemicals that we have today. Like, they were doing detox every single year, and they didn't live in houses that were literally like sealed airtight, made out of just glues and like synthetic woods and all these chemicals. They weren't living in that. They weren't drinking out of plastics. Like they didn't have all the exhausts or any of those other chemicals that we have to deal with. So the way I approach detox is that rather than do something drastic and do it for 20 days, is I like to do something small, consistent, as in daily. So do something daily to help with your detoxification. So there's 5 things I usually like to consider for detox, and this is how your body detoxes. There's primary ways that your body will detoxify, and there's secondary ways that your body will detoxify. You want to make sure you address them all, but ideally you start with the primary ones first. So the first primary thing is the liver and the bowels. So for fat-soluble toxins, your body gets rid of it through the liver, filters it out, puts it into the bowel. You go to the bathroom, go to the toilet, poop it out into the toilet. That is the simplest way to look at it. So if anything is an issue along that pathway, your fat-soluble toxins will not get eliminated properly, which can lead to problems with, say, the next thing of your next pathway down the line. So let's go through those in a little bit more depth, not too much, not too deep. But the liver has 2 phases of detoxification, and the first phase kind of makes things sometimes slightly more toxic to prepare it for the second phase. And the problem is that it's the second phase that always gets backed up. So if you're going to do a lot of work for liver detoxification, you want to make sure you're doing things to help with the second phase of detoxification. And this typically involves a lot of different amino acids that will be built into the program. We have it all designed into our smoothie so that it's for phase 2 liver detoxification. So you want to look that up, make sure you're doing something for phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. The thing is, if you're doing all of this liver detoxification and you're going to eliminate it through the bowels, you better make sure that your bowels are emptying. Now, if you're already having regular daily bowel movements, perfect. Don't worry about it. But I would suggest, if you're going to be doing this detoxification, make sure that you're having that. So I don't like the concept where you go to a health food store and you're like, I need a detox kit. And they basically, when you look at the herbs, it's just a boatload of laxatives. That is not detoxification. Unless like you're someone who's so backed up that that's the only thing that you're missing. But you want to make sure that you're going regular. If you're not, use something that like gentle to make sure you're going. And I've already done a podcast on this, so go back and look into my, I think it was called Skinny the Pooh. It was talking a lot about constipation and the ways to treat that. So work with phase 2 of the liver, work with the constipation, make sure you're having regular bowel movements. Let's go to the second pathway. The second pathway for detoxification is the kidney and your bladder. So Everything water soluble gets filtered by the kidney, puts into your bladder, and you pee it out. If the liver gets backed up, you'll see that the kidney gets overburdened. So you want to make sure the liver is working great, get all of that going. Then you work on remedies for the kidney. For the kidney, one of the most simple things to do is just make sure you're drinking lots of clean water. So I generally, when I have people on the weight loss program, I like them to drink 2 to 3 liters per day. Now, even more so, and I always count herbal teas towards this. So you can use things like, and I've talked about this on different posts, but I'm a huge, as you know, a huge fan of herbal teas in part of hydration, because you can use those to detoxify while hydrating. So you can put in things like nettle or schisandra tea, those types of things to help with your kidney detoxification while flushing them out at the same time. It's a great way to do it. So taking things to support your kidneys, schisandra, nettle, astragalus, these are all very common herbs that you can find, and then drinking lots of it so that you're flushing is a great way to do it. The next two are more secondary pathways. So they're still important, but if your only focus for detoxification is to focus on these, then you've missed the big picture. So the next one is your skin. So your skin detoxifies through sweating. This is a great way to do a post or to try to sell you on things like infrared saunas. And while I am a huge fan of saunas as well, like I have saunas everywhere, like office, home, cottage, wherever there is, I've got saunas. Even at my dad's place, he's got a sauna. Like we might as well be Finnish. We're not. I got a Dutch background, but we might as well be Finnish or Swedish because we sauna a lot. But the thing is, I realize that this is not the only way to detoxify the skin through that type of sweating. Even if there's other hacks you can do for this too. Like if you're exercising and you know you're not pushing yourself hard enough, put on an extra sweater, like put on an extra hoodie, turn up the temperature in that room. Sweating is sweating, so do what you can to induce some sweating, and that was a great way to help your body detoxify. And I find that people generally feel like their muscles and everything feel a lot looser, assuming you're not completely dehydrating yourself, but you will feel a lot looser by detoxifying through your skin. The next one is your lungs. So this one's pretty straightforward. Honestly, the biggest thing for this is deep breathing. There is other things that you can do. Like I've had people do nebulized glutathione before. There's different remedies like NAC that you can use to help your body detoxify your lungs. But honestly, the biggest thing for that is deep breathing exercises. And you can combine, like I said, if you're exercising hard and you're dressed up warm, you can be sweating, breathing heavy, doing all that at the same time. So exercise and some herbal teas on a daily basis could be your mild daily exercise. So you know what? Let's look at that. Your mild daily detox. You could do this. You could do dandelion root and nettle tea. Keep it dead simple. Just 2 herbs in your tea, and then you could go exercise hard enough that you're breathing heavy and sweating hard. Boom, detox, right there. Now actually, that I mentioned those 2 teas, the bonus point when it comes to detoxification that is so much more relevant in our time today versus our parents and historically when they did these seasonal spring detoxes is plastics and xenoestrogens. So these estrogen blockers, they can bind to for females, they'll bind to the site, and they can cause hormone disruption. So they're hormone disruptors. It's really important to do work to get these out of your system. And those teas that I mentioned, so I'll list these right now so you can write this down. Dandelion root tea, nettle tea, green tea, and rooibos tea all have been shown that they can help your body detoxify these synthetic plastics and synthetic estrogens out of your body. And it is important for men too. It's really important for men to get these out of the system because the levels that we have of these estrogens now is so much higher, and it can also be problematic. So make these teas part of your routine. Make exercise part of your routine. If you want to do more detoxification, by all means do it. And still, I'm not saying don't do these spring detoxes. I'm saying do something small every day to help your body get rid of this crap, because you're taking it in every day. You might as well be trying to get rid of it every day. So this is Doc Yates. I hope this was helpful and gave you some tips about how to detoxify properly and how to keep it part of your regular routine. So Doc Yates, signing off. Thanks for tuning in to Simply Health. If you want to learn more about health, check out Able Health. If you want to see some of the other projects that I've been working on in health, business, music, and life, please check out the links below.